Well, as far as the novel was concerned, I have to say, Philip K. Dick hasn't been an influence. I'm sure. I know he's a very great writer, but I've never read him. I have to be honest. I mean, my aim was always, as far as the novel was concerned, to write a story about really how love and friendship fitted into people's lives, particularly as they started to realize that time was short and that mortality was a fact. I was always looking for that, a kind of a metaphor, if you like, for the kind of human existence, the human condition, the fact that our existence is limited. And so I was always looking for that. What you might call the sci-fi speculative surface of the story was almost like the last thing. It was the last piece of the jigsaw. It was almost like a device to make the thing work, to create this world that seems very strange and distant initially. But then hopefully, the reader, the audience, will start to actually recognize it as their own story. That was the idea. But inevitably then, having chosen this kind of dystopian world, it starts to raise all these issues about biotechnology, perhaps about organ donation. That's fine with me. It's probably fine with everybody else. But I'm not sure if that is at the heart of what we were trying to do. I think we were trying to tell a story about love, friendship, in the face of the bleak fact that we're mortal. I don't know how other people feel about that, but I mean, that was my position when I was writing the novel. The big question, the second question about why don't they escape? I know that this is probably a question a lot of people ask about this movie. When I published the book 5 years ago, a lot of people asked that about the book. I guess I have to take responsibility for this question coming up a lot. And the honest answer is I was never interested in looking at that story of brave slaves who rebelled and escaped. I like those stories. I think there are many of those stories, both in film and in book. I'm fascinated by the extent to which people don't run away. Mm-hmm. And I think if you look around us, that is the remarkable fact. How much we accept what fate has given us. Sometimes it's just passivity, sometimes it's just simply perspective. We don't have the perspective to think about running away. And ultimately, I suppose, as I suggested when I was answering the earlier question, I was looking for a metaphor for how we face mortality. And we can't really escape from that. We can't escape from the fact that we've only got a limited amount of time. We try, we try and tell ourselves stories. We have religion. We try to do it with children or with our achievements outliving us. But ultimately, it's very difficult to escape. So I wasn't wanting to look at a story about escape. I was wanting to look at how we accept our fate.